Welcome to this edition of Sell More Books. The world needs to hear your message and it's time to get it out. Today we are talking about A+ content, which is something relatively new and very exciting for anyone who's publishing on Amazon. And we're going to look at what it is and how to do it. So first off, we're going to look at what exactly is A+ content. We're going to look at how to create it. And we're going to look at using Canva to create it as well. So we'll take a look at 2 or 3 examples here. This is one I just happened to be looking at. Anyways, this is Pete the cat, that if you have any kids or grandkids, you might be acquainted with Pete the cat. But like many books now, they now have this section that is under from the publisher, and everything that's under this title from the publisher is what Amazon considers A+ content. Now, Pete the Cat is a big series of books, as you can see, so they're using this section to tell you about all the different Pete the Cat books. So this is one way you can do it. But that's certainly not the only way. So here is this is an actually indie author book who's doing very well with her children's book. You're going to see it. You can see it's a #1 bestseller right now. And this is not like a brand new launch kind of thing. She's actually selling a lot of copies. But you can see, so again, from the publisher, this is her A+ content. So she's got a little header here. She's got a little description of the book. A couple more things which talk about aspects of the book, and then other books in this series. And you'll see this book is number 520 overall in Amazon. So they're selling close to 2,000 copies a day, which is a pretty dang good result. So makes me want to double down on efforts with my children's book. This is random. I haven't looked at this one, but here we go. So from the publisher, so this is the A+ content. So again, there's a header image. And this looks familiar already. This is a little different. And then, yeah, this is different too. So they've got some different images here. So I'm going to show you how to do all of these things. So you can have this really nice professional looking section here from the publisher for your indie book. So to do this, you're going to go to your KDP account. Now, you might think, because this shows up under your books, that you would find it somewhere in here for the listing of your books with your details, content, pricing, or something. I mean, it would make sense, but it's not here. So to get to the A+ content, you have to go to the top and go to marketing. And then scroll down and you'll see A+ content is here. And you're going to choose a marketplace, so Amazon.com. But you can also go back and then redo it for .co.uk, .ca, which is Canada, .au, which is Australia. The rest of these are all foreign language markets, so it's probably not worthwhile for you to create A+ content for them. But in our case, since we do publish a number of our books now in German, I would create a German variation and then put that to Amazon.de. So, but let's choose Amazon.com, manage A+ content. Yeah, don't worry if that pops up. That's just a thing that's happening. So now you're in this A+ content manager, and you can start creating A+ content. Now, before you do, I would suggest you click on getting started here. And they do have a little video. I'm going to go over everything in the video anyways, but they also have a what's allowed section. So do take a look through what content they allow and disallow. Mostly it's things that you would expect, but there are some, things that might catch you off guard. So some of the big ones, you can't put the price of your book or anything that can make it dated. So you can't put new book, you can't put releasing on this date, you can't put will go on sale, you can't put, this price or so much of a discount. You cannot put any website, even your own website, on the A+ content. And you cannot put reviews from, even if they're in Amazon, like Amazon reviews, or reviews from friends or anything like that. None of that. You can only put endorsements if they come from a public figure or an established review source like a website or a magazine. And then you're limited to 4. You can put all that stuff in your author page. Shows up in the editorial section. So that's not really a loss. But yeah, just so you know, in case you were hoping to do that, you can't do that. But yeah, do check that section out before you get started so you don't end up submitting something that's only going to get rejected. But let's start creating some A+ content. So you just click the button up here, and then you're in this editor, and you see there is a process that you'll go through. And the first thing you're going to do is add module. Now, there's a number of modules, and we've actually seen quite a few of these on those pages that I checked out. So there is a standard company logo, and take a measurement take down this number here, the 600 by 180, because you're going to want to create this image. If you want a header on the top, you don't have to do this, but if you do want a header on the top, then make note of that size, 600 by 180, and you will create your own using a source like Canva or Photoshop or whatever is convenient for you to use. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then you have a bunch of standard templates that Amazon provides for you that you can just add in your own content and fill them out. So we'll take a look at a couple that we saw in use. This is a popular one right here. So you upload an image. So I will just grab an image here. Put it in there. You can reposition it and just say add. You do need to include meta for the image. So, and they're very strict on this. You have to describe what the image is. And this is because this is for people who are visually impaired and can't see the image. So their system will read to them what this image is. Okay, it doesn't like this image here. Let me grab a different one. Okay. So now it's got that image there. I should have centered that or something more, but I'm just doing an example. So you'll put in the headline that you want. Sub-headline if you want, you don't have to. Most of these fields are optional. So if you don't fill them out, they'll just won't appear on the page. So don't feel like you have to put in something into all of these. And then on this side, on this template, this has some bullet points. So there's about 17 different templates. So, you're going to just pick the ones that work for you, but just giving you an example here. And right, and then there's actually, you can put in like 3 more here. I'm not going to do that. And then you click add module. Let's do this one. So add background image. It's down here. This threw me off at first as well. I'm just putting this in here for now. No, did not like the size. So you do have to meet particular sizes here. But same thing, you add a picture, headline, the body. I will show you a completely different one, which is this comparison chart one. And you can see you can put in up to 6 different books. Doesn't have to be books, could be characters in your books. And then you could do a little chart comparison for them. There's another one similar to that if you're doing something like a children's book, where you want to highlight some of the different characters that appear in it. This one. So with this, you're going to have the main image and then headline and description. And then beneath that, you can have up to 4 more. So again, if you're doing, say, a children's book, you could have the main character and a little bit about them, and then 3 other characters. Don't have to do 3, could be 1, could be 2, and then a bit about them. Or you could do different books in a series if you have more than 1 book. And then, you click on each one, it'll tell you about those books and when they click on it. So let's take a look at what this looks like when you finished it. So this is one I've just done. And I've created this header here. This is the 600 by 180. So I created this header and uploaded it. And this is an image was writing on the side. So there's the headline here and then the description and the image. And then here's the one with the bullet points on this side. So I uploaded an image of this author, my wife, Cassie Morenzi, a bit of information about her, and then other books, book series by her. And then I did this comparison one. So all the different devotionals she has in this series. And you can actually click through to all of them, which is a very cool functionality that this allows you to do and add to the page. And then you can put whatever you want here. So I just put like the lengths of the devotionals, how many days they are, the main themes of the devotionals, and whether they include a leader's guide or not. And so that's, once I submit this, that's what it's going to look like on her book page. So that would be for this one. And then I'm just going to utilize these other 3 modules and do it for all the other books, and just change this module up for each particular book to talk about that book in the series. So, very simply here, I'm able to create this A+ content that gets shown on the page, makes the page look much more professional looking, and allows you to tell the readers a lot more about the book in a very visually grabbing style. And I mean, you can put a lot of different things here. One of the things you do have to be careful with, which I didn't mention before, is making any claims. So, you can't say this is guaranteed to help you to lose weight, or it's going to improve your IQ, or any kind of claims like that, unless you can substantiate it. So you'd have to, put a star with, as documented in this study, or something like that. You just can't put them. So you do have to be mindful of your wording to avoid any kind of superfluous adjectives that might get rejected. They are more stringent on this content than what they allow you to put in the book description, because in the book description you could put pretty much anything, but here they are being very mindful of it. When you submit this, which is the next step that I would go through. So once I'm done with these modules, let me just show you here. So once you've made all the modules you want, you do have to give it a name. And then you're going to apply ASIN. Well, what is ASIN? So that is the number of your book. So let me go back to KDP here. I'm just opening it up in a different tab. So in your KDP, for each of your books, you'll see under the price here, the ASIN. So that's the number you want to grab. I'm just grabbing this one again. This is just an example. And there you go. And so now it's going to apply this example content that I created, and it would put it on this book. And then I'd hit apply content, and then this would change to review and submit. And that's going to take you to like this. So you can take a look at what it looks like. And once you're happy with that, the next step would be to submit it to Amazon. And once you submit it to Amazon, it takes them up to 7 days to get around to reviewing it. So, I mean, when you make a change to your book and you submit it, they usually have that done within 24 hours and often within 4 hours. But this, they're being much more diligent on this. So when you submit it, do give it up to a week for them to look at it and review it. And if they approve it, then within 24 hours of approval, it'll show up on Amazon. If they have any kind of issue with it, then they're going to send you an email telling you what the issue is that you need to change. And then you make the change, and then you got to reapply, wait another 7 days, and then hopefully it gets approved at that point. So that's the process here on how to create A+ content. Now, we did look at one here. This one, yes, it was. And this here and this here are not anything that we saw in the modules that Amazon gives us. So how did they do this? Well, what you can do is, while you're back here looking at the modules, so here we go. This is what we're looking for. So add image size, so 970 by 300. So now that we have that, and again, although this module does have text that appears, if you just don't add any text, it won't appear. So this will just be a pure image if we don't add any text. So we got, once we know this measurement, 900 pixels by 300 pixels, now we can go to something like Canva and create a design. So let me go back to the home. So if you've never used Canva before, unfortunately, it's beyond the scope of this training to teach you how to use Canva. That would be a whole series of training in itself. But Canva is a free service that you can use to create wonderful images. They have a huge library. And it's very, very simple to do. But what we're going to do today is we're going to create a design. We're going to click this custom size, and we're going to put in those measurements, 900 by 300, new design. And there it is. And now my Canva gives you all kinds of backgrounds and all kinds of stuff, templates here that you can utilize. You don't have to, you can do your own thing. You can put in different elements. You can put in different texts and draw stuff on it and all kinds of things. So, you know, it's a great tool, but if you just wanted to use one of these templates to create like your header here, you could just do that, but the header is a different size. That's the 600 by 180. Or you could just start filling in this box with just put in a background and some text, which is exactly what they did here. It's just a background with text. And this one, they use some imagery and text, and they basically just created that in something like Canva. You could also use a program like Photoshop or any other kind of image creation tool that you might have, Paint or what have you, as long as you got the measurements. So you just get that right size. You're just going to make it to that size. Then you're going to, you know, save it. And then you're going to go back here and you're going to upload that image and add it. And boom, now you have your own custom created A+ content that will show up on your page, and just like they did here for this one. So that is how you would use Canva or any kind of image creation software to create your own A+ content and do whatever you want. Alternatively, if you're not that creative, you can just go to Fiverr and find somebody on Fiverr. That's Fiverr. And let me go to that actually. Go to fiverr.com, and there's thousands of great graphic artists on here that can create it for you. And I'm betting if I put in A+ content, it'll probably pull up a whole bunch here. That's what they do. They create, you know, A+ content images for you. So, you know, and you can see these look great. So, you know, you can just come to Fiverr here and tell these guys, you know, exactly what you want, and they'll create it for you. And then you just upload it onto Amazon, to KDP. Do check out the prices here, though. This Fiverr, everybody used to be $5. That was the deal. You can see they're not $5 anymore. So I want to do some price comparisons here and, you know, check out how many reviews they've got. But the ones that come up first are generally really, really good. If you scroll down long enough, you'll find newer guys who aren't that established. I mean, but you can see there are thousands here. So you'll have no problem finding somebody to do it. And you can just go through and see if you like the style of this particular graphic designer. So there is 3 different options for you. You can just use Amazon's templates. You can use something like Canva to create it yourself, or you can just get somebody on Fiverr to create the imagery for you and then upload it. And then you too will have this beautiful from the publisher section here with whatever you want to tell them about your book. So it is a great place. And this is so good because one of the things that I don't like about Amazon is your book description is here, right? And you only get a couple of lines here before this read more button. And this is actually very, very easy to miss. And which is why I say the first line here, you should always bold it or put it into like a header or 3 or 4. So it stands out. Because otherwise it's very easy to just scroll past that and not see it at all. But if people do scroll past it, now that you have this A+ content, you can definitely grab their attention here with both nice visuals and a lot of great details about your book. So that is A+ content in a nutshell for you. A great addition to Amazon. And I'm sure this is going to, really help you with getting those book conversions once you get people to your sales page.